The next area for social emotional learning is social awareness. So that's, I can meet social expectations. That's sort of, I can go into an environment and see what other people are doing and act similarly. I can read social cues. That's similar. That's kind of like reading the room, if you've heard that term. I can show respect for others. I can perspective take, so I can imagine how it is for the other person in the situation and why they might be upset or why they might be sad. I can have empathy for others. I can be kind and compassionate, and I can celebrate diversity. So again, these are all things you can do at your house. Especially if your child has siblings, it's even a little bit easier with the social stuff. If if this is hard, if these are hard for your kids, if this is an area you've realized that this is a challenging thing, they might be struggling. You'll know that because they might be struggling in friendships. They might be a kid who tends to monologue, meaning they will just kind of keep talking and not pick up on cues that other people are getting bored with what they're talking about. Sometimes kids are like super interested in a subject like trains, and they'll just talk to you about trains for 25 minutes, and they don't pick up on the fact that they've sort of lost their audience and you're maybe off thinking about something else and not thinking about trains anymore. So if your child struggles in these areas, this is great stuff to help them support it. You can say to them, you can have a cue with them if they're doing the monologuing thing. You can tap them on the shoulder and say, "Sweetie, we got to get going now." Or you can point out when you go into new environments before they approach other people. You can say, "Now let's look and see what everybody's doing." If you're in a restaurant, what do you notice? Are people running around and screaming and yelling and jumping on the tables? No, they're not. They're sitting, they're eating, they're talking quietly with the people at their table, and then they're ordering their food or whatever, and just sort of help point out those things for them, because for some children, either it's because their age or they just struggle more with it. That's just hard for them to recognize, and then they might do something that feels socially inappropriate to you, and you might feel embarrassed, but it's simply they just don't know. They don't realize that's not appropriate, and so that's our job as the adults, is to teach them, right? And we're going to help them through that. To learn perspective taking, that's a great thing to say when they have a situation come up with a sibling or a friend. Well, how do you think that person felt? What do you think they're thinking right now? Because some kids don't think about what other people are thinking. And it's not because they're mean or they're terrible or they're selfish. It's just because that is hard for them. That does not come naturally to them. So we need to help them as the adults in their life to think about, how is that person feeling? And, oh gosh, I don't want to make them feel like that. Having empathy for others, that's where you can, as a family, you can do kind things for other people too. And it doesn't have to mean that you're, buying them dinner, or you're doing some major, expensive thing. It could be that you as a family, I don't know, maybe you make cookies and you give them to someone who's in need or something. I don't know. And volunteer at the food bank, or do something like that where you're together and you're showing that you care about other people. And that's where kindness and compassion will come in, as will celebrating diversity. If your child struggles with this stuff and you're a little worried about it, there's a whole thing called theory of mind, and that's that perspective taking. So you can Google that a little bit to learn a little more. But there's a great website called socialthinking.com. And the woman who started the website is Michelle Garcia Winner, and she's actually located down in San Jose, and she is sort of the queen of this kind of work. And she's got a lot of free resources on her website, and like free webinars that you can watch, and articles and stuff. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I highly recommend that website. I think it's fantastic, and it might just help you to help your child. Okay, thanks.